vlogging. It is, what day is it? It's Sunday, and I am just like coming out of a funk, which is one of my favorite feelings. It's like the rise after things have been kind of tricky. And it started last night. What I'll do sometimes to get out of a funk is I will like pretend that I am a doctor or something. And after some like meditating and journaling, I'll write myself a prescription of things that I think will help, and I'll stick to it pretty much religiously for like a week to see if it will help. It almost always does, and I usually stick to some of the things in a longer term sense. And one of the things I've been struggling with is just like a huge lack of structure. I just kind of like oscillate between being like too strict in my routines and not feeling like I'm having any fun or freedom, and then, going too far in the opposite direction. The pendulum swings always, and it swung too far and not enough structure. So a few of the things I prescribed myself was that I have to wake up at 9 a.m. every morning and get to bed by 1 every night. And it is now like 9:30 and I'm still in bed. But like I have technically been awake since 9, and I have been waking up like really late or like inconsistently anytime between like 9 and noon. So I'm gonna call it a success for the first day. And then another thing I prescribed myself is like daily movement, no exceptions. So I don't have to go to the gym every day, but if I choose not to go to the gym, then I have to practice yoga. Today, I'm gonna go to the gym. So let's get ready. Okay, so I'm dressed and ready to go, and I pulled out my map because I don't go anywhere without my map, even if I go there all the time and know exactly how to get there. Because of stuff like this, it's closed. Apparently, I go to the YMCA and apparently it's closed every Sunday, and I guess I've just never tried to go on a Sunday, so I'm gonna go for a walk instead. Okay, laundry is folded and the living room is clean. So now, before I go back to work, I'm gonna do a little bit of crafting. Another one of my like prescriptions for myself is an hour of creativity every day. It's mostly gonna be channeled into crafts, especially like home decor crafts, because this place is still kind of blank looking. And I'll show you what I'm doing. So I bought this rug and I want to like paint designs on it with bleach, and then maybe I'll go through and like paint it with fabric dye as well so that it's colors. I'm not sure, but I started this last night and I painted this whole border inside the green lines with bleach, diluted bleach, and it did nothing. So I'm gonna try again, but I'm gonna not dilute the bleach this time and see if it works. Okay, we did it. And I'm gonna be real, it still doesn't look like it's doing anything, but I'm gonna give it some time to develop and we'll see. I don't know why it wouldn't. Why wouldn't it bleach? Because apparently it's plastic and no amount of bleach is gonna change that. Okay, while that is sitting, we're gonna go to the mailbox drop-off location to drop off these. If you've been following me for a while, you may know that I offered to send physical postcards to my first 50 YouTube subscribers. And I made them. They're like winter themed as slowly as possible because these were supposed to be sent in January. I wrote them, I sent them, and they all got returned to me except for like one or two because I addressed them wrong. So I rewrote them and sent them again right before I went out of town. I left them in my own mailbox this time, and I just like left the lid open because I don't have like a little flag on my mailbox that says like that we have mail. So I just left it open, and not only did the mail person not take them, they also just left the mailbox open. It rained several times while I was gone. So then they got soaked through, all the words like leaked off of them. So today I rewrote them for the third time. Third round of stamps. And the design is no longer relevant because it's spring, but they're still really cute. And you know, we could always use a little stillness and like winter in our hearts sometimes. So third time's a charm. Please pray for me and for these postcards. We're gonna go do that. Okay, it's 11:30 and I'm sitting down to start work, and for the first time in a long time, I'm not like way behind. Like I actually had to sit down and write out some tasks for me to do because there isn't already like a backlog of stuff that I'm behind on, which feels good. So I'm going to post on Instagram. Yesterday I ended up editing 2 reels and making 1 static post. So I'm gonna post one of those, and then I'm gonna figure out cross-posting. I'd like to start posting my reels onto YouTube Shorts. This is an idea my friend had. Shout out Heaven, so that I can get like more people watching these videos, which would be really fun. Then I'm gonna plan a workshop. My idea, and this is just not a fully developed idea, but I'm noticing that like a lot of people in my orbit who are interested in what I have to say about brand design are not necessarily at the point where they're ready to hire a brand designer for like a full package. So I've just been thinking about like how I can help them improve their brands too. So I think I'm gonna run like a workshop or like a co-working hour where it's kind of like part teaching, part mentorship, part like brand audit, and we can just like make everybody's brand a lot better in like an hour. And then I'm going to edit a podcast. This is not for work technically. This is for like a passion project that I have with one of my best friends, Maddie, and we just like decided to start yapping. We bought microphones. So we have like this little witchy podcast called What Would a Witch Do? And it's just kind of like this whole first season, we're just talking about intuition and how to connect with your intuition and how doing that kind of like opens the road in front of you to be more, I was gonna say intuitive, but to like live with more magic in your life. That's like the first step. So I'm editing the podcast and yeah, it's gonna be a nice little work day. Called. Really excited for. Okay, so they have these like Olipop knockoffs at Trader Joe's, and I tried the cherry Coke and it was good. It was like the cherry flavor was a lot stronger than the Olipop one. So now I'm gonna try the strawberry vanilla to see how it is. Okay, that's good. I like that one a lot more than I like the Olipop strawberries and cream, I think it's called. So it tastes like a lot more like candy. It's like, you know those little strawberry strawberry gummies that are like pink and white? That's what it tastes like, the Strawberry Kiss gummies. I am headed to the tattoo studio to see my friend Eileen and hang out with them. And this is actually the same tattoo studio that my sister works at, and they're having an event tonight. They've been doing this like series of Studio Ghibli movies, and then all the tattoo artists in the studio make like a flash sheet inspired by the movie, and I think they're doing Ponyo tonight. So I think it'll be super fun. I think my sister will be there since they're doing the event. It does not come off. Okay, I'm home, winding down with a little Sims sesh. Got my color changing light, got my tunes, I've got my chips and salsa. This is like, to me, the perfect night. Good morning. I am, oh, hold up. We're beeping. Okay. Hit the curb a little. I am headed to work. I work at a restaurant a couple times a week. I wanted to like wake up early so I could do my yoga and vlog a little before I had to leave, and that did not happen. So yeah, I'm working a double today, and I think this is really where my little prescription is going to be tested. And honestly, usually I would like when I'm working, especially when I'm working a double, I'd be like, you know what, like, if I go to work, that's enough. I'm not going to require anything else of myself for the day. But I was listening to the 12th House podcast yesterday, and Michelle said something about like, she's talking about when you're trying to start a new habit, it can like reveal patterns to you. And essentially, that like, if I, for example, decide that doing yoga today or doing my hour of creativity today is like not that important, that like work is the essential thing for me to get done, and taking care of myself and pouring into myself is extra, is fluffy, is unnecessary, is frivolous, well, that's just like not in alignment with my values, right? Like I actually believe those things are more important than my job at this restaurant. So I'm really gonna challenge myself to do those things today, even though I have like maybe a total of 3 hours to myself all day. Let's see how it goes. Good morning. It is the day after a double, which means I take the whole day off from working on my design business. I treat it like a weekend day. I just kind of take my weekends whenever I feel like I want them. And it usually is like 2 or 3 days a week. Yeah, the first time I worked a double, I then came home after and like finished editing a YouTube video and then woke up and tried to do like more YouTube and client work stuff. And I burnt myself out so severely. It took like days to come back to myself. And even now, like just like talking to the camera, my words are not flowing as smoothly. I don't like there, it takes an energetic toll that I have to recuperate. Because it's restaurant work. I'm very active there physically, mentally, socially. It's very loud. There's music, there's lights, there's, you know, a million things to keep track of, on top of like, you know, talking to my coworkers and trying to be chill. And yeah, and then I'm doing stuff like hauling ice, scrubbing floors. So it's just a lot. And it's, when I work at doubles, it's a 13-hour day. So, and I enjoy it. Like I feel like it adds a lot to my life. That's one thing I will say, that like if you are self-employed and you want a part-time job, like it can add a lot of things to your life aside from just like extra money. But you have to like think about it and like think about what you want added to your life, and like pick a job that does those things for you, and also be like ready to find a different part-time when that job's like no longer giving you the added benefits. For me, I like the physical challenge. I like having coworkers because when I work on my business, I'm, you know, even when I'm working with clients and other contractors, it's like it's virtual. It's not the same as like seeing the same person a few times a week. But the recovery part can be really hard. And when they schedule me like back-to-back days, then it's like almost not worth it. And it's funny because I've mentioned this to people in my life who know that I'm working. They'll be like, hey, how's that job going? And I'll say like it's good, but sometimes like when I'm scheduled too much or I'm scheduled back to back, it feels like I'm not getting paid enough. like I'm giving a lot more than I'm getting back, and I like the toll that it's taking on my life, and the sacrifices I'm making are not equivalent to what I'm getting paid. And people kind of laugh at that and are like, yeah, that's life, that's a job. And I'm like, no. like not I do not accept these terms and conditions. Like if that happens too much at this job and I'm not making enough to justify it, I will leave and I will find a different job that is better for me. I don't accept that I have to be like miserable and burnt out to keep myself alive. I don't accept it. And that like inability to accept the way things are is a blessing and a curse, because like it can be really frustrating and difficult to find something that like matches my vision. But I have multiple times found jobs that were like almost miraculous in the way that they provided for me. I had one job where I worked at a perfume shop that was more like a showroom or like a proof of concept. Like their main goal there wasn't to make revenue. So it like we didn't have a lot of customers coming in, and they let me sit at the desk all day and work on my design business. So I was just like collecting 2 paychecks. And I had another job at a bread stand where we got to keep all our tips. And so I was making like $300 per shift and taking home enough bread for me and my family for the week to give to my friends, and still like had enough left over to bring to like the local pantry. And I got out in the sun on Saturday mornings to like hang out and like talk with my neighbors. Like there are jobs out there that are pleasant and can like meet the needs that are going unmet in your life. So if you are a freelancer, for one, don't be afraid to go get a part-time job. It's not like a sign of failure. I think even if I was making like $1 million a year, I still might want a part-time job or like a volunteer position, just because of what it can add to my life. And then two, don't be afraid to like shop around, or to like have hope and believe, and like look for something that's gonna suit you really well. But yeah, I can like it just it's actually taking so much effort for me to even talk right now. So I'm gonna stop, because my like main goal for the day is recovery. I have a Facebook Marketplace find that looks really promising, so hopefully I can go pick that up today. And if I'm feeling up to it, I may also go to my friend's house and help them garden. But yeah, mostly just gonna chill. That was an amazing day. Finished my pasta, and I had a call with Capitolia. She has like an online group of people who are like trying to build their businesses, build their brand, become more visible online. And that's a big focus of mine this year. So it was just a really inspiring meeting. I finally got a kitchen table, and it fits perfectly in the space, which I was concerned about because it's a very small space and I didn't want the kitchen to feel like cramped or unusual or unusable. And I don't think it does. I think I like it. And now it's like the full moon. So Libra full moon at that. So I think I'm gonna do some like relaxing yoga, meditation, maybe some more journaling. I don't know, just kind of like flow with it. Oh, and something that did happen today that I didn't record was when I was walking downtown to get my bread. there's like this crosswalk I have to take where there's no light for me to cross. So I kind of have to wait either for traffic to slow down or for somebody to be nice and to let me go. And someone was nice and they let me go. And as I walked by, the guy rolled down his window and he had a thick Carolina accent and he says, "Ma'am, you're beautiful." And frankly, flawless execution, no notes. Like, if you're going to offer a compliment to a woman, I think that was exactly the right way to do it. A small act of kindness or of service. Staying far away, not asking for anything and leaving and disappearing forever. Like, and I honestly believe that like some fairy magic will get onto him and he will be blessed for that interaction because it was sincere and it was respectful. And a man who can sincerely and respectfully appreciate beauty is going to have good things happen to him. I just believe that. I had lots of good interactions with people today. It was funny because this morning I was like almost nonverbal and then I like ran into everyone I know downtown and like loitered places, hanging out, talking. I met one of my neighbors. The girl I picked the table up from was so nice. As soon as she opened the door, she goes, "Oh, you look cute." That's such a cute thing to say to somebody you've never seen before. But yeah, it was a good day. I'm feeling really good. Just got back from helping Eileen's parents move into their new house, and then we went and laid in the creek for a while. And I'm so tired and dirty and sunburned and so happy. So I'm gonna take a shower and probably a nap, and then I'm gonna go back to Eileen's house. We're gonna have like a late night dinner with them, their roommate, and I think 2 new friends. Could be fun.